Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jackie. Hey, everybody. Hey. I am currently here at the beach. We are at Buxton Beach right now. Me and my mom, my dad, and Jackson. We are all here at the Outer Banks. We actually arrived Sunday. We drove through the night on Saturday night, and we left at like 1 and then got here around 8. It was really awesome. I slept the whole time. Jackson slept the whole time. I think my mom slept the whole time until we actually got here, and then I like woke up and paid attention to my surroundings. But my dad drove the whole way through. It's actually pretty cool, the view we have. I'm gonna take you guys with me to show you because I think it's just so cool. The lighthouse, you can't really see through the screened-in porch, but I'll take you out here. The lighthouse is actually right there. It's pretty cool. And then we have the beach, which is actually right there. So it's a really awesome view that we have here, and it's also great that the lighthouse is back there because it's my mom's favorite lighthouse. And we actually walked to it the other night. It's about maybe a mile from where we are. It's really awesome. We just decided to walk, so we walked. Fern asked how the beach is. We're actually having a great time. We've been trying to stay on the beach as much as possible because we don't get to come as much, and we all love the beach. Since it's right there, we go as much as we can. We've been trying to go some in the morning, and then sometimes we go late afternoon, that kind of thing. You've probably seen all of it because my mom is posting everything on Facebook. The beach is awesome. Yesterday, sadly, it rained, but we did actually get to go to the beach for about 30 to 45 minutes, and we noticed that it stopped raining and that it was going to be raining later, but it was stopping for maybe an hour. So we went down, and we were planning to come back up later, but we got down there and we were enjoying it, getting in the water and everything. And then we saw the storm cloud like over the ocean. We were like, oh no, we have time. But it was so cool because the storm cloud, you could actually see it coming over the ocean, and you could see the rain coming down. And we were like, oh no, the storm caught up to us. So we were trying to run back to our house, but it was pouring down rain, so we were just trying to run and run. But it was so funny. It was actually really cool seeing the rain go over the ocean. The good part about yesterday, even though that it rained, is we got to see the sunrise, and that was breathtaking. I woke up, and my dad and my mom, we all woke up really early. Jackson wanted to sleep, which I don't blame him. But we woke up, and we went and saw the sunrise, and we were about a few of the only people there. But we were watching it, and the colors were really pretty. I'd never really seen purple in a sunrise before. It was really awesome, and it was cool because you could see that a storm was coming, but it was just this giant cloud that just kept coming over. It was really cool. And it was just really awesome, and we actually got to see it near the lighthouse too. We keep getting to see like the sunset near the lighthouse too because it's just right there. When we walked there, it was really fun. The sun was setting as we were walking, and as we were walking, we saw this giant pack or herd, or I don't know what the proper term for a plural of deer is, but they were all together, and there were maybe like 15 to 17 deer just right there, and we were maybe like 10 yards away from them. It was crazy. We were like, hey, don't hurt us, it's fine. But it was really cool seeing them. It's been awesome here. And Kimberly, I called Kimberly and Tracy the other day, and Kimberly they were asking if I wanted to do a What's Brewing, and I was like, yeah, I'll do one. I really wanted to, still keep a schedule or whatever and still get to do one. And Kimberly was like, you could talk about serenity or peace or everything. And I was like, okay, that's really funny, Kimberly, because that's actually what I was going to talk about. And she started laughing. So that's kind of what I was going to talk about today. But I'm going to dig it in there after I finish this part. So I'm technically starting now. So, so because we're at the beach and we don't really get to go out and do as much as we normally would because of COVID and everything, we have been staying on the beach. And I think so far that my favorite activity that I have found on the beach is just simply sit there and watch the waves. I'm giving you a little background here. On Sunday, we stayed on the beach for 5 hours. So naturally, I got a lot of sun. I was extremely sunburnt. I was really red as a tomato, and the next day it was really, really hurting. And I was unable to move or even really bend my arms up and down. It's much better now, as you can see. I have all my range of motion and everything. But I was using aloe lotion like crazy to help it. It was just hurting so bad. And we decided to go to the beach the next day after Monday. And I decided I should probably stay in the shade as much as possible. And it turned out that it was good that I didn't really get out in the sun because I didn't really feel good that day. I had a headache, I was in pain, and I was really, really nauseous, so I just decided I'd stay back. So I stayed underneath our bright green umbrella the entire day. It was really nice. I read a lot. However, when I finished a chapter, I kind of just stopped and I'd look up and I'd just watch the waves and just let it kind of take over me and just kind of sit back and look at how they were doing everything and, that kind of thing. I was people watching, that sort of thing. Not in a creepy way, but, just watching everybody and seeing what they were doing. It sounds weird, but I just sat there and I listened and watched the waves. And I sat there for maybe 10 to 15 minutes at a time, and I would just watch and watch, and then all of a sudden, it happened once. This is a once in a lifetime, I guess, occurrence, I don't know. But I was sitting there and I was watching, and then all of a sudden, I just hear this silence. And it was like for a split second. It wasn't like it was like 5 seconds or anything, but the waves were crashing, and then all of a sudden it sounded like they just had stopped. And I was like, what? And there was no sound, there was no waves breaking, and there were no people yelling. And I was dumbfounded because I heard a silence in what was supposed to be a continuous noise. You know how whenever you listen to the noise of the ocean is just constant waves breaking all the time. And I was like, why was it silent just then? And obviously there were still people speaking off in the distance, and there were other waves crashing in other directions, but right in that moment there was no sound whatsoever, and it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. And no, I promise I did not go deaf for a split second, because right after that the waves went right back to crashing and people continued to talk. But after that, my perspective, it just completely changed, and I listened for the silence, and I paid more attention to the smaller details in the ocean. I made sure that I was watching the waves, and if I could see that silence again, I would see what it looked like, and it was really cool. Funny thing is I'm talking about silence, and on the 4th of July, my family got together. It was me, my grandparents, Steve and Tracy, and then the Graybills actually came, Ashley and Brad. Brad didn't come, but it's fine. Anyway, my grandmother, Charlene Gordon, for those of you who do not know, she asked me the other day, on Saturday, if there was ever a time where I just sat in silence with no talking, no music, no nothing. And she asked me that because usually at the parties, people let me control the music, and I pick nice music. I try to, know my audience kind of thing, and I always have it playing. And I thought about it, what she had asked me, and I told her that music was my way of feeling peace, and that it was what I get my blessings from. And then she told me that she takes time out of her day, just basking in the silence, and she told me that the Lord just really blessed her in her time of silence, and that really stuck with me. Sorry, we have neighbors, so that's what you're hearing. And it was so cool to hear her talking about that, because you could see that the Lord really does bless her in that time, just the way she was talking about it. And I had never really thought about being quiet or finding a blessing in the silence. But hearing that split second of silence in the waves gave me this peace that I had never really felt before. I felt completely at peace, and I felt God really bless me in that split second of silence. And I have talked about a passage in the Bible that has really stuck with me. I've talked to Tracy about it, about teens, and I've talked about it even to the congregation like once before. And that passage is Psalm 77. I'm not going to read it because it's lengthy and I'm not a very good reader, but I do get the gist of it, so I can just tell you guys. I think his name was Asaph. I'm not 100%. I think he actually wrote this psalm, and in the first 9 verses, he is questioning God, and he's wondering why he's going through this awful hard time, and he was in this period of darkness. And then all of a sudden, after the 9 verses, the word Salah or Selah comes on, or is written, and then all of a sudden his perspective just completely changes. And now before, I had read a devotion on this passage, and that's how I became familiar with this passage and about the word Selah. I never knew what the word Selah meant, and it turns out that sometimes it's used in music, and it is meant for a pause, and it means to pause. And after it's written in this passage, the entire tone of the passage changed. His perspective changed. All he did was pause, and he found this new perspective, a happier, better, more joyful perspective. He paused, relished in the wait, the silence, and then he had this completely changed vision. And that really encourages me. It shows me that if I take time to pause, to be silent, and to listen to God and what he has to say to me, my darkness, my perspective, and the noise around me will fade. I'll be happier, better, and more joyful. So today, I would like to encourage you guys to Selah. Just take time to sit in silence today. Listen to what God wants to tell you. Listen for that moment of silence or for that moment of peace. If anyone can give it to you, it's God. I know for me, there was this one time at teen camp, and there was this prayer room, but they asked you to go sit in a room and just wait for God and just sit there in silence. And everybody in the room was silent, and they closed the door, and it was maybe like 20 people in there, and we were sitting, and I was like, okay, is God really going to talk to me? I really doubt it. Excuse me. And I sat there for maybe 15-20 minutes just waiting, and I was feeling really uncomfortable because I'm a very awkward person, if you don't know. So silences weird me out. It makes me uncomfortable. So I was just sitting there, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just sit here for a little bit. And so I closed my eyes, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna pray, and I'm gonna let God talk to me rather than me talk to him. So I prayed about it, and I was like, Lord, show me what you need to show me, all of that. I prayed, and I just sat there for the rest of the time, and I just sat, closed my eyes. I didn't speak. Nobody else was speaking. It was nice. And then all of a sudden, God started talking to me. It wasn't a visible, heard voice, or audible, sorry. I couldn't actually hear him, but I felt him, if that makes sense. And I was like, holy cow, that's crazy. And so after that, I was like, okay, I need to be, if I listen to God more, I will be able to, get on with my life, that kind of thing. Not in a bad way. But I never had actually done it after that time. And Tracy sometimes talks about how we really need to listen to God in refuge. And it's something that I've always been kind of weary about, because I don't like just sitting and waiting. It makes me uncomfortable, the silence of it all. But after being out on the ocean, out on the sand and listening, and then all of a sudden just hearing silence, I just felt God, talk to me, and it was really awesome. And I would like for you guys to feel that kind of awesomeness too. Because I know for sure that God gave me peace, and He has before, and He still will continue to. And I know that He can give you peace too. So I know it was kind of a short devotion. They seem to be getting shorter, but I just wanted to encourage you guys with that today. The Selah and the silence and everything. So if it's okay, I would like to pray for you guys, if that's okay. So here we go. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for giving me this great opportunity to speak to these wonderful, wonderful people once again. I pray today that silence will just bring them this awesome peace today. And I know for me, I need peace. And I know you're the only one who can gift that to me and who can give that to me. And I just pray that you can help us listen to you today. Help us to pause and to help us see from a new perspective. Your perspective. I pray everyone just selahs, they pause, and they just relish in the silence for a little bit today. I pray that everyone will have a great rest of their week, a great rest of their day, and that they will just have the silence, and they will just find you. We love you and we praise you. Amen. Excuse me. Well, I want to thank you guys again for letting me come talk to you. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope to see you all soon. I have enjoyed talking to you from the beach. I hope you guys do find some silence today. I know it can be hard for some people, but I pray that you guys can find it. And I just want you guys to remember to pause and to listen to the silence and find peace in that silence. Selah. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!